Hello, my name's David Ischak. I'm the technical trainer at Vokèra Boilers. We're here at London Colney Training Centre, and in this video we'll be talking about setting up dual temperature weather compensation on our Riello Vibe MAX combination boiler. To utilise weather compensation, the boiler needs to know the external air temperature. To do this, it uses a sensor or downloads internet weather. What it'll try and do, it will try and maintain an internal ambient air temperature of 20 degrees when the external air temperature is -5 with a high enough flow temperature. However, it's not -5 at all times. So when the weather outside is warmer, the boiler will recalculate the flow temperature to the heating system, make it lower, yet still maintain the internal comfort temperature. In lowering the boiler flow temperature, the boiler efficiency is improved. The external air temperature is obtained from an external sensor which is wired directly to the boiler and located on an outside wall. Alternatively, the external air temperature can be downloaded from the internet by using the optional smart key, which is plugged into a socket on the base of the Vibe MAX boiler. The wired external sensor is connected to the SE terminals on the boiler PCB terminal block. Once the Vokèra Vibe MAX combination boiler has a source of information regarding the external temperature, we must enable it on the boiler display. So we need to get into installer parameters. To do that, press and hold the menu button for 2 seconds. This will take us into user parameters. To enter installer parameters, press and hold the menu button a second time for 2 seconds until a password is requested. The password we'll need is 18. Select 18 by using the plus button on the right. Once it's selected, press top left to enter installer parameters, and we first of all look for parameter 418, which is selected on the plus button on the right. Press plus on the left to enter. Make sure 1 is enabled. 1 means the boiler knows there's a weather compensation sensor fitted. Leave parameter 418 and move to 420 using the plus button on the right. Use top left to enter. Enable the plus button on the 0 to be number 1. That's enabled our night back setting. We'll talk more about that later. Now leave parameter 420 with the minus button on the left and go to parameter 419. Enter with top left, and what we have here is a climatic curve. We would suggest leaving it as default. Default is actually 2. It can be lowered to 1.5, but if you're not warm enough in the house when the setting is 1.5, just raise it to climatic curve 2. Once it's set, press and hold the lock button to enter. We can now return to the main screen by repeated presses of the bottom minus button on the left. By selecting parameter 420, we enabled night setback. What that means is the boiler will not stop working when the timer that's controlling the boiler is off. It means that during an on period, the boiler will achieve an internal air temperature of 20-21 degrees. But when the timer contacts open and the boiler will not stop working, but it will recalculate an internal air temperature approximately 4 degrees lower, so that when the user is out or in bed, the house doesn't grow completely cold, but it drops back to a setback temperature, which means the house stays at a thermally comfortable level. At any time during a heating period, whether it's setback or comfort temperatures that are trying to be achieved, the customer can adjust the internal air temperature up or down by 5 degrees by using the buttons on the right, the plus or minus buttons on the right. It assumes that 21 degrees, 0, that's its baseline. So you can increase that temperature up to 25 or down to 15 at any time without adjusting our boiler climatic curve. There are a couple of extra pieces of information that may be of use to people using weather compensation. If we enter the information menu, brief press on the menu button will bring us information. We need information option 09. Press top left to enter. That will tell us the current external air temperature. Leave that option by using the bottom left. Move up to information option 10. Enter. This figure will be a recalculation of the current external air temperature. Why is that figure recalculated? Because the boiler software uses parameters 433 and 432 plus past operation of the boiler to make adjustments to the external air temperature that the delivery flow temperature to the heating system is based upon. I hope that explains the difference that may be present sometimes in those two temperatures. I hope this information has been useful. Thank you very much.